Hello everyone, this is Ross from Retro Dream Beam. I'm an eBay seller full time. I've been doing this with my fiance Netta for a couple years now. Don't forget to like the video and subscribe to the channel. I'm about to go into what we're shipping out today, Monday. So yeah, there's a lot going out and a lot that we have to do or have been doing. So yeah, I'm just gonna jump right into it. All right, the first thing is gonna be treasured Polish recipes right here, like a cookbook. Yeah, this is a bunch of different Polish recipes. We get a bunch of hardcover books like this. We got this from like an estate sale from a Polish person a bit ago. We got a lot of cool Polish stuff. This sold for $14 plus shipping. Everything's going to be plus shipping, so I'll just save us some time right now. All right, next item is going to be the Notebooks of Lazarus right here. I'm not too sure what this one is. I think we got it probably from the same estate. So honestly, this one I don't fully remember where we got right here. So it's gonna be a book. I had like a different packaging to make sure dust and stuff didn't get into it. This is probably like a comic book or something, so I like to save that stuff just to reuse it for some other time. I was probably out of baggies at the time. They do cost a little bit to get the baggies, but I like to keep everything protected. This sold for $8, which is not too bad. We get books pretty cheap. All right, next up is going to be a little green like bulldozer toy right here, die-cast car. We got this from, I think like an auction, online auction. Yeah. I think we spent $660 for everything, so this is not from the most recent person we got die-cast cars from. So yeah, a little green bulldozer. This is pretty cool. It's sold for $7. We do pretty well with those little trucks and die-cast cars. Usually like Annetta gets them at auction for like $10 or something, if that. All right, next up is gonna be something pretty big. This is huge. This one I wasn't a fan of. This is gonna be an alarm system right here that someone can install. This thing's still sealed. This is from the 80s. I think there's like a megaphone here. There's gonna be like a bunch of different buttons and switches. I'm not too sure like if this is gonna be someone's like pet project or if they're actually gonna use it or they were using this and then theirs broke and they need a new one. I remember Netta was excited because there was an auction that used to be $5 minimum bid, changed to $10 like a bit ago. And then these actual big items, we got a lot of big items for $5. I think this is the last one, so I'm just super glad to get the space in the storage unit. A couple other ones did pretty well for like 40 or 60 or something like that. This one only sold for $16, but it is plus shipping. I think they paid like 30. We're just gonna have to make sure the dimensions are okay when we ship that out. But yeah, that was just a little mini story about that one. I wasn't a fan when I picked up that stuff. I was like, oh, even at $5, that was disastrous. But it's okay, it's whatever. It all sold, so it doesn't really matter. You can sell like almost anything on eBay. It's kind of cool. All right, next up is going to be two little, these are sequins right here, or not sequins, or is it sequins? It has that material that you can like, it folds up and folds down. There's like a bunch of pillows where you fold it up and it's silver. You fold it down and it's like the art of the pillow. So yeah, these are pretty cool Christmas bulb like ornaments. They're not actually bulbs. They're like like I said, like that material, the sequins or whatever that goes up and down. This sold for $5.50. So yeah, I'm always listing just like little bits and pieces we have around, even if it's only a couple. Obviously, someone would want more for the tree, but maybe someone just wanted a couple and they liked how they looked, or they had some before and they broke, or they just wanted to add more to the tree. All right, next up is going to be a lot of 5 Wii games. These are going to be like, I labeled them children's activity games right here. Looks like we have Wii Ski and Snowboard, Deca Sports, Game Party 2, and Wii Fit. This sold for $18.75. Honestly, at this point, like I just kind of keep all of our janky in quotations physical games just to see what happens. I have a bunch. I can lot up stuff like this and it would do pretty well. $18.75 is not too bad for that. But yeah, that's what I'm currently doing with like our junky games or whatever. I do get them medium, uncommon amount of time, not like common, not rare. But usually it's like the junky ones where I have to lot up a theme. All right, next up is going to be a Star Trek Attack Wing figure right here. This is going to be Sovereign class right here. This is by WizKids. This is their deep cuts, which are just these pre-prime miniatures. So you open them up, you can paint them. And it looks like there's little sticker decals. I don't think this is actually like, has all the rules and stuff for Attack Wing. Attack Wing has like, I think some D&D dragons. They have some like military plane ones that it's super popular. So if you get like the old stuff, I think it's pretty good. And then I think they have some Star Trek one. I think these are just like you paint them and you swap them in with your figure or something like that. I'm not too sure. But I know like Attack Wing usually has like more rules, bits and pieces. That sold for $13.19. So yeah, people like Star Trek. So I got a bit of those recently, so it's pretty cool that they're moving. All right, next up is going to be a Game Trade magazine. This is called GTM from June, issue 220. This right here is still sealed. Sometimes they come with promos. This right here is a promo character for the game Dragonfire. I played it a little bit. It's a pretty cool one. I actually like it a lot, but you have to have people with high focus playing it, or else like, you know, there's a lot of reading. There's a lot of like teamwork that's involved. There's a lot of, like, you play a character with all these cards. You have to like really focus on deck building. You like come in with a small deck. There's like sticker upgrades that you add to your character, like in D&D characters. So you kind of have to like actually be paying attention to everything, or else it's gonna be hard. This sold for $8. This particular magazine is kind of like I'd almost say like a distributor catalog magazine. It's a lot of advertisements and stuff. So yeah, they usually, I don't know if this one sold, probably because of the promo, but yeah, I do find these. I do know what they are, but yeah, $8.10 for that one, even with the promo. So nothing too crazy. Next up is interesting. These are lots of like 100+ wooden meeples. It's really hard to explain, but there's gonna be different. It looks like there's 4 different player colors, and then there's gonna be, yeah, there's like a flaming torch. There's like a crescent moon on a statue. What else? Another green flaming torch. They all have like 6 little circles and a bunch of little hammers and stuff. Someone said that they actually bought this just because they were intrigued. I couldn't figure out what game they were from, so I just put like 100 wooden meeples because they are wooden. They they do have like cool shapes and sizes and stuff like that. So someone else literally said that they bought them to figure it out themselves, and they're like, I've never seen wooden meeples like that before. So yeah, I was like, actually let me know if you find out. They were like telling me that they play thousands of board games. I'm like, I've played a bunch too. I don't know if I'm at like 1,000 maybe. I keep track of it on Board Game Geek. I think at some point I got like 300, 400, 500, but it actually just takes a lot of work to like go into every game and to like, like I like to just give them like a star rating or whatever. I'm generally like rating games higher than other people. But yeah, it just takes a lot of time, so I just haven't caught up to date at some point. All right, next up is going to be what is this? A manga. What is this? Yeah, like you guys know. I'm the one here, sorry. I'm still waking up. Evangelion Part 2 right here. I know people like this series. I think we sold like posters and stuff to this one too. This is Volume 2. What company is this? Glenat? I'm probably saying that wrong. This sold for $8.50, so we have picked up like piles of manga and stuff before, and they do pretty well. It's super like popular, I think, with like Gen Z and stuff, and just millennials always liked it as well. So it's a pretty like hot ticket item and stuff like that if you find manga stuff. All right, next up is going to be, unfortunately, I have to write that this is a really cool like linen-ish finished Skyrim map. So that, yeah, this is pretty cool. You fold it out, it's the whole map. This sold for $18.75. I actually think they're going to be more excited when they see it, because sometimes it's just really hard to capture how like interesting something is in person. I think they'll like the texture and all that stuff. It's just, yeah, like I said, it's hard to, you do your best with photos, but like I think they're gonna be super excited with that one, especially if they're a Skyrim fan. All right, next up is going to be some random NBA yearbook, 1988 magazine. Honestly, I think this Netta grabbed this one. There was an auction house moving from one location to another, so they needed to like get rid of stuff. So we built up a pile. She had this in there. This has oh my god, I can't think of it. I put in Magic Johnson. Sorry, right there for the Lakers. I only knew like a little bit of basketball because my brother and dad are super into it, but they were into it back then. So yeah. All right. Oh, 1421 for that one, which is pretty good for magazine. Next up is something pretty cool. At least not to me, but I like playing card decks. You see me sell them. These are Ford playing card decks right here, which is really cool because it's 2 playing card decks, and they have like a rule set for a game called Ride and Win. I just think this is like a cool promotional item or something. It's for Ford, Mercury, and Lincoln. I'm not like a car person. It's just not my thing, but I think like something like this is pretty cool. This ended up selling for $10. Like I think it's a cool advertising piece that they sold or gave out or whatever. It's cool. Cool piece of history, I guess. All right, next up is going to be a lot of 20 rare HeroClix pieces. I played HeroClix from 2000, I think 11 to 13. So I'm able to identify a lot of the figures. This is just rare ones. I usually lock them up in some way, shape, or fashion, either by like the set they're in or the rarity, or if I just have a bunch, I'll just like pick cool lots of 25. This sold for $15, which is pretty good. I got that from the auction that I went to recently with all like the nerdy stuff. So I think I paid very little for the whatever HeroClix stuff I got. Like no one was bidding on it, so I think I got all the HeroClix stuff, except it wasn't HeroClix, but it was HorrorClix. There was the big Cthulhu figure. He was kind of broken, but needed to be glued on. Someone walked in. He like was measuring the box, and I was like, "Oh, why is he measuring it?" And then it's like, "Oh, that's going on his shelf." Like she's like, "He's gonna win it, and then he's gonna go pay for it, and then he's gonna be done with the auction." And yeah, when the item came up, he won it. He paid, and then he left. And she's like, "Told you." He was measuring to see if it went on his shelf. I was like, "Oh, I wasn't thinking about that, but it was cool." Like HorrorClix is cool. I think that one went for like 40 to 60. You did have to glue apart, but normally that thing goes for like 100 or more. I didn't want to like mess with it, one, because I could tell that it was correct because that person wasn't gonna not bid on it. That was all they wanted. And then 2, I didn't really want to deal with like broken pieces at the time. I have before. I do it all the time. I just I didn't know what the rest of the auction was gonna be, so I didn't want to put too much money into it. All right, next up is gonna be a lot of six. I think these are called, what are they? Mashums, Fashums. These little squishy My Little Pony figures. These are like those like blind boxes you go into like Hot Topic or something, you know what I mean? And you or like Walmart, Target, you go into the aisles, you see all these like blind little boxes. Someone opened up a bunch. I think I might have got a bag of My Little Pony stuff for a couple dollars at a thrift store years ago, and I just recently listed it. All of the different stuff. This is, I don't think it's a full set. I think there's like 8 or 10 in the set. This sold for $14.39 for 6 of them. So it's pretty cool. People love My Little Pony. There's a whole like subculture and stuff like that. There's like bronies and everything. Like a lot of people like My Little Pony. So yeah, if you can get like vintage stuff like that, it's pretty good. Or just kind of any My Little Pony stuff. People love it. All right, moving along, we have a CD right here. I don't really listen to music. This is Richard Todd with a twist right here. We got a bunch of CDs for $75. Long time ago, literally full car, $5 for this one. I'm like a broken record. I'm still working on some. I listed some recently, like on Friday. Sorry, losing track of time. All right, next up is a cool little miniature right here. Yeah, I guess you can kind of see it. This is a painted metal sci-fi like little lizard with spikes, and he has his red robe, and he has his little gun. Really well painted. It looks like a. I mean, this is probably. Maybe I could do this. I don't know. I do like paint miniatures. $16.87. I put like alien sci-fi holding his gun. It's pretty cool. People are into aliens right now. I think they're maybe just because of all the drones that have been going around, and people just really want to see aliens. So I know I've been selling a lot of our like alien miniature stuff recently. All right, next up is from Worldwide Games. This one's pretty cool. Delaware, Ohio. Yeah, what's the game called? It's Backup 3. Backup 3, this is probably from like the 50s or 60s. I don't want to take it out right now. It's some of these like older things are just hard to take out and put it back in. This is in pretty good condition. This is like a vintage board game. There's made the rules in there. This sold for $89.99. I do pretty well with like unique games. I don't think there were any listed on eBay, so I basically get to ask for whatever price, and eventually someone is a collector or they're aware of the game from the 50s or the 60s. Their grandparents played it. Who knows? But people do collect like unique board games. $89.99 is pretty good. But I don't know where to put this. I'm like, where I go left, right. Normally I have like a little shelf here. I don't have that right now. All right, running out of breath. Next up is going to be some vintage Ace Authentic dominoes right here. Pretty cool domino set. Yeah, cool container. I think it's like a faux leather. I don't think it's real, but it has like a little snap button, stuff like that. People love dominoes, old school games. It doesn't have to be all these modern games I'm talking about all the time. Like people do like the old stuff. $18.22. So back to back, 2 vintage games. Selling was pretty cool. Next up, it's gonna be something that like Annetta was like super aware of. I should have been aware of. These are gonna be 3 different like village trees or something. So yeah, this looks like a little birch one or something, and this one has like some red birds on it. So yeah, these are well done village, Christmas village train, holiday decorations. Repeat buyer for $14.40. She always looks for this stuff at estate sales, especially when like the person's not aware of like the trees and stuff being worth money, like the person hosting an estate sale. Yeah, she's the one that's grabbed a lot of those, and I was like, really? And then I listed them. We sold a bunch like way back in the day. They've always done pretty well. These are kind of just like stragglers, or we had them like too high price because like they had to pay what $14.80 plus shipping for those, just 3 of them, but they are nice quality. Like I said, there's like birds and cool little other like details in them. All right, next up is gonna be a lot of 41 Space Hulk board game pieces right here. These are just gonna be like loose bits and pieces. I think Space Hulk, I want to say it's like a Warhammer game. I've never played it. Heard a lot of stuff about it. The pieces sold for $9.50. They just look like there's like door tokens, some little tiles to flip over, maybe spaces to move over. Yeah, some door ones as well. $9.50. All right, next up is going to be, I don't even know, this was an old listing because I don't even know who listed it. Editor or I, we use like brown cardboard as our like backdrop. Zap Instant Marinate, the Chef's Secrets. I don't know, it has like, there's a little recipe book, and then there's like little, they look like little salt canisters or something. I don't know, I just can't figure it out by looking at it. Yeah, well, obviously, I think you're gonna store some spices or something like that. I don't know, it's like a, yeah. All right, this sold for $13.49. Old purchase, honestly. If I had to take a shot in the dark, a garage sale or a thrift store or like a Goodwill or something like that. That's my guess. Normally, I'm pretty good at like kind of mostly knowing where stuff comes from, but yeah, that one's too old of a listing. All right, next up is gonna be a lot of black plastic. It's fantastic. Where are they? If I can't find them soon, I'm just gonna move on, and then I'll probably find them later. Unless if I forgot to grab them. All right, I'll just have to find it later. Oh, here they are. whew, when I leave stuff at the storage unit, I get really sad because I have to go back because like one, you get dinged in your account for like defects or late shipments and stuff like that, and I just don't want to deal with it, and then I feel bad. But today I don't have time to do that, so it would have been like a race to the just to get these. But yeah, these are cool little plastic miniature bases. People are gonna put their miniatures on, glue them on, or use D&D standees or something. $6.99 for just 5 of these. People are looking for like no slits because sometimes they have slits, sometimes they don't. They want them to be like thick, thin. I always give like as many measurements as I can. This is 1 1/2 inch because there's gonna be, you know, you don't want to put like a big miniature on a base that it can't fit on. There's a lot to this. That's why I do well with the bases because I understand the nuance of it. $6.99 for 5 little plastic bases. All right, next up is going to be something cool. This is Antiques 1900s, like cherub Valentine's Day card. It was so cool, or at least to me, I think it's cool. It's like a piece of history. Why am I just struggling to find stuff right now? It's probably, oh, it's right here. Yep, right here. So this one we got from the online auction where we spent $660. We got like a bunch of like, just like a binder of ephemera and stuff like that. And then inside of the binder, it was like wholesome. Some guy had saved all his Valentine's cards that he had sent his wife or whatever. So I got to like, I was like, oh, that's so cool. I was just going through them. They're all not in the best condition, but yeah, this is like early 1900s right here. Right there, there's a little poem in there. Super cool. You can actually see like the pencil marks from him to her in there. I can't really read it. It just says the dates 1977, I think. All right, I guess not as old as I thought. Maybe not, or that's 1917. I can't tell. You know, it's like old chicken scratch. This sold for $7. Nothing too crazy, but like to get a bunch of listings within something else you purchased that you weren't expecting, it's pretty cool. I had like 40 or 50 of different like Valentines and stuff like that. Why did that come up double twice? I'm sorry. It's like the double showing me that I sold this one twice, but it did not. That's like a weird little like eBay glitch that happens visually once in a while. I'm not sure like what's up with that. I've seen that happen before, and I freaked out before because I'm like, oh, I didn't have 2 of these. How did the same person buy 2? All right, next up is gonna be some vintage Peanuts Snoopy string light set. I wasn't such a crazy like Snoopy's fan. All my teachers always made us watch like the Christmas episode, so I saw it like 100 times, not by my own will, if that makes sense. But yeah, these are good quality Christmas lights and stuff. Just like a cool little Snoopy thing. You can tell it's hard to tell from through the camera, but yeah, they're gonna be super excited with these. I can tell these are good quality string light set. $16 for this. Someone had bought this before, like a year ago or something. Brought it back to here, and then they canceled. Then I had to bring it all the way back, and now it's coming back here. And hopefully, it's selling. This was from the auction that we spent $660 on, I think. So that's pretty cool to get all of these stuff. That auction was, I want to say it was like February or March, beginning of this year. So it's cool to see stuff still going from that. I did the math on. I've been like slowly upkeeping it every month or so. I'll like go through all the listings and add on like how much we've total. I think we're at like 1,500 or something before fees and taxes, like for us for the money. But you know, we're already like at least probably double. Boxes usually aren't too crazy. Well, kind of they are, but you know, we make do. All right, next up is gonna be Amidala's Blaster foil. Sorry, I had to think about it. I don't know what that character is in Star Wars. This is the Young Jedi card game. I think there's like 4 sets. Normally I bulk these up. I randomly found like a binder with, I think it was also with the Marvel cards I was doing well. So I just end up listing the foils individually. Sometimes I'll just decide to do it individually. Repeat buyer for $7.50, which is pretty good for like an individual card. All right, next up is gonna be a combo order. These are 2 starter decks for the World of Warcraft TCG game. I'm not 100% sure if these are fully randomized within their own like characters. This is Zagzil. He looks like a troll warrior, shaman. These are from the Burning Legion sets or something. I think that's the name, Burning Legions. And then this is Chigon Steel Sight. Looks like a dwarf hunter or something like that. There you go. You can see it up close. But yeah, these come in like the starter decks. They're not like a full deck, but just kind of like you open up these like hard clam shells for this World of Warcraft TCG. And there usually be, I think, like 2 of them in there. There's like oversized cards, and sometimes I think they come with boosters, I think. So these each sold for 12. These sold 24 together. These were in a box of $11 I spent in an auction for Dead Card Game and stuff. I really do enjoy going through that stuff. Like, I actually played this game for a couple months. Like, I wasn't pro or anything, just played some with like a buddy, and we had a lot of fun playing it. Next up is some more Warhammer 40k bits and pieces, Astartes bits and pieces. I think that's how you say it. 1687 to repeat buyer. These, if you've been watching for the past month or so, have been just like gold for us, just a windfall. It's been great. It's been a lot of fun. Like it was because it was interesting. Like when I was listing them, I'm like, will people like these? I'm like, I can't really fully identify them other than by like their faction or whatever. And like, no, they've been doing super well. All right, next up is going to be a miniature I was not aware of. So this is Dark Age. So you've seen us sell some Dark Age cards. This miniature is Core Thumper right here. He has all his pieces, his card. There were no Dark Age miniatures on eBay, and in my scrap pile as I've been listing stuff, I had two. So I listed it high. This ended up selling on offer for $45, which is pretty crazy good for like a miniature. But yeah, I guess maybe it's for their RPG, because I know they have an RPG. I guess they have a miniature game. Yeah, I'm not too sure if this is like a, I think this is, what does it say? I don't want to say cool minis or not. I'm actually, you know what, I don't know too much, other than there were very little to none on eBay. $45 for that is pretty good. All right, next up is going to be a set of 4 of these. I'm just going to hold up one. These are like some like straw-ish placemats. These are pretty good. Aneta, I think, listed these. These are 17.5 inches by 12 inches. So yeah, these are pretty good quality. Honestly, you should probably grab these cheap at a estate sale. So someone gets a full set of 4 for like a dinner table or a table. $13.36 for that. I don't know if I already said that. And then the last thing for the day, it's a lot, is the blanket. I don't really want to take it out because I don't want it to get like messy or anything like that. This is like a fire engine, fire truck. There's a lot of, so this right here is the fire truck. Sorry, it's in like a bag. Yeah, I can't really show this well. There's gonna be, yeah, a lot of different like iconography and art of different like train trucks, stop signs, like Dalmatian dogs, stuff like that. This is like one of those cool like woven blankets, and I think it's handmade or something. Super cool. Got this from a estate sale from someone that used to be a firefighter. I just remember that particular estate sale. We actually have like their Dalmatian like painting that they had. It's actually in our bedroom. It's such a nice one. There's like 2 Dalmatian dogs. Well done. But yeah, that estate sale, the lady that we normally run into, she gave us everything for like $35. We did like a pretty big pile. It was probably like 40 or 50 things. Like honestly, like random stuff, like unique stuff we were grabbing. Like this fire truck, like the painting that we have, other stuff too. A lot of cool, unique like history there. It was like a cool like a state to go through, and I was just like picturing all this person's like likes and the stuff they enjoy. So yeah, I don't know. I just thought it was like a cool aesthetic they were placing. We got some cool stuff. So sorry, that just brought me down memory lane. $30 for the blanket. It's really cool. It's a well done blanket. I'm glad they're gonna be excited. It was, like I said, probably handmade. So yeah, a lot of cool details into that. All right, that's everything. We are running short on time. I have to wrap up the video and then ship out all the stuff with the Neta. So thank you for watching. Don't forget to like the video and subscribe to the channel. I hope everyone has a good start to their week. Thanks for watching.